Hi there, this is Ranjit from tech2bus.com, and in this video we're going to do the full in-depth review of the Samsung Galaxy S Duos. This is a dual SIM Android phone and I've already done the unboxing for this phone, so you can look at that video to get an idea about that and how to also insert the SIM. And it accepts two SIM cards, that's GSM, and this is a dual SIM active Android phone. That means both the SIMs can be active at the same point. Let me just zoom in now. And before I get further in the review, let me thank Faisal Communications for providing this unit for review. And the good thing about this phone is that out of the box, it comes with Android version 4, that is ice cream sandwich. And to keep the price down, the Samsung has made some compromises. Though it supports a 1 GHz processor, Samsung chose to use an old processor, that's a Cortex A5. And even the GPU used is just an Adreno 200. Fortunately, but the RAM provided is 768 MB. And let me just kill all the apps now. I'm going to remove all and let's go to the task manager. And I'm going to clear all the memory, and as you can see, no apps are running. And now let me run this software called Android System Info. And as you can see, we get about 282 MB of RAM free, and that means about 290 to 295 MB of RAM will be free on this phone, and that is sufficient. One issue I found with this phone is that at times the UI tends to lag a bit. I don't know why it happens. It's not always, but sometimes it does happen. And after rebooting the phone, it was fixed. But if you want the smoothest experience, this phone is not for you because at times you'll find lags. Another good thing is that the quality of screen that Samsung used on this phone is pretty good. It's not a Super AMOLED screen, it's a LCD screen, but then also the viewing angles are also pretty decent and the screen is pretty good. The resolution Samsung offered is 480 by 800, and that is good enough for a 4-inch screen. Before proceeding, let me give you a quick physical overview. On top, we'll find this 3.5mm headphone jack. The power button is over here, and we have a micro SD card slot over here, and this is hot swappable. You can just open it and remove the SD card without shutting off the phone, and it works fine. And on the bottom, we have the microphone hole, a micro USB slot for charging and syncing, volume rocker. Again, the bezel is just made up of plastic, and the entire body is again made up of plastic. And if you just look at the phone, it will resemble the Samsung Galaxy S3. And on the top we have this VGA camera, and we have the proximity sensor, but sadly the ambient light sensor is not there, so you need to manually adjust the brightness. Fortunately, we get this quick toggles over here, and you can use that to quickly jump between Wi-Fi, GPS, etc. And also you can adjust the brightness from here, so that's a nice touch. And let me also show you the Android version. And if we go to about the device, as you can see, the Android version is 4.0.4, that is ICS, and Samsung says that the phone has built-in 4 GB of memory, but out of that only 2 GB is available. Technically it's just about 1.8 GB, and I have installed quite a few apps, so I would say we have ample internal storage, so you won't have a problem installing a lot of apps on this phone. Also, you do have a SD card, so again, in terms of storage, you shouldn't have a problem with this phone. And this phone also does support Wi-Fi hotspot facility. So let me show you the same. If I go to more settings, mobile net, tethering and portable hotspot, you can see that it does provide a portable Wi-Fi hotspot. And the UI used on this phone is Samsung Touch Nature UI, and most of the part it is okay and fine with the phone, but as I mentioned, at times I felt a little bit of lag, but it was not always. So in general usage, it should be normal, I would say, not an issue. Coming to the voice quality also on this phone was pretty good. I tested it on a 3G network, and the voice quality was very good. Also, I tried to download some data and do web browsing on 3G, and that was also pretty good with the same. Now I'm connected to my Wi-Fi network, so let's quickly test the web browsing on this phone. And we're going to go load the Engadget website. It's loading the same, and as you can see, it quickly loaded this Engadget website. One issue I have with this phone is that when you try to scroll quickly, it does not scroll quickly. It stutters a lot. I don't know why it does this, but it does it. Let's go back. It's loading it again. And pinch to zoom also is pretty okay. When the web page is loaded, it does the pinch to zoom also pretty fine, but it's not buttery smooth like you'll find on a dual core Android phone. There's a slight delay, but I would say overall it is acceptable for the price this phone sells. Do note that it's just a single core Android phone, so it's okay. So web browsing is also okay on this phone, no issues with that. And it can also play back videos embedded on the web page. Let us go to tech2buzz.com and let me show you the same. And let's load this iPhone 5 versus Google Now video. And let me change the orientation. The orientation change takes a little bit of time. It's not instantly quick. And this is a video that's embedded, and let me play it back. Hi there, this is Ranjit from tech2buzz.com, and this is a fun video. I have the iPhone 5. So as you can see, it can play back the videos without any issues. So in terms of web browsing, I don't have a problem, but again, I would say it's good enough, not excellent. So let me get out of the web browser. Also, as this runs the Samsung TouchWiz UI, you get up to 7 home screens, and you can move around the home screens if you want. And this is the app tray, and you just scroll here, and if you click here, you can go to the widgets like this. And if you notice, you just got a lag here. So at times you get a lag with this phone. Let me also show you the YouTube app, and let's go to my channel. That's Kiki Ranjit, and let's do the watch the video unboxing video of this phone itself. Hi there, this is Ranjit from tech2buzz.com. And as you can see, it's playing it back without any problems in high quality. So you can easily play back YouTube videos without any issues. At one time in my testing, it could not play this YouTube videos, but after just a restart, it started playing back. So I have no idea why it happened. But again, I tested it with quite a bit of videos, and it was able to play it back without any issues. Now, as we are looking at videos, let me also show how it can play back, let's say, videos stored on your SD card. And it can play back, videos up to 720p, but it is not very smooth. And let me show you the same. This is a 720p video. It's a high bit rate video, and what happens is that with high bit rate videos like this, it tends to skip a few frames. So technically, yes, it can play back 720p content without any issues, but it tends to skip a few frames. As you can see, it's skipping a few frames here. So if you want the smoothest playback, I would say restrict it to up to 480p, but definitely it can play back 720p content. But again, it is not very smooth in my opinion. So that's for the video playback. And now let me also show you the camera features. It sports a front facing VGA camera, and I tested it with Skype video calling, and I was able to make video calls with the same. Again, as it's just VGA camera, the quality is, I would say, just okay, nothing great, but yes, it can do video calling, and also it does support 3G video calls. So it can also do that if you like. And moving to the rear facing camera, it has a 5 megapixel camera with LED flash, and I would say the camera is okay and for a 5 megapixel, but again, you don't get a lot of features. For example, you don't get tap to focus, and it does take time for it to focus. For example, as you have seen, when you click on it, then it focuses. So there's a delay of almost half a second, but again, the pictures come out to be really good outdoors. For example, let me show you the same now. These are some of the pictures, and as you can see, we took this picture without flash, then also it came out pretty okay. And these are some of the pictures that I've taken. This is indoors, and these pictures I've taken outdoors, and as you can see, they are pretty good. I'll just show you all these pictures in the full screen so you can get a better idea. All these pictures were taken with the S2Os outdoors in natural sunlighting, and as you can see, outdoors the pictures come out to be pretty good. So in terms of camera, I am satisfied, but again, don't keep your expectations very high. It's an okay camera and does the job. Now moving to benchmarks, I ran this Nina Mark 2 benchmark, and I say I got an average score that's just 19 FPS. Again, the fault is that it just uses Adreno 200 GPU. Before that, let me just kill all the tasks. And if you hold this home button for a while, you get this ICS style multitasking tray, and you can kill all the apps like that. And let us also kill, let's go here and free up the RAM also. And now let's run this Nina Mark test. Again, Samsung choose to use a very old GPU, that's an Adreno 200, and I would say it's okay, but nothing great in my opinion. Yeah, you can play a lot of games with this phone, for example Temple Run, Dead Trigger, stuff like that, but future games might have a problem because the GPU is pretty weak. And the Nina Mark test is going to be done in a second, and let me show you the scores. It's almost done now, and as you can see, a score of about 20 FPS. I wouldn't say it's excellent, I wouldn't say it's bad, I would say it's mediocre. So for gaming, it's also good, and as stated by Nina Mark, the GPU is Adreno 200. So let me get out of the same. I also ran the quadrant benchmark, and I'm not going to run it again because it takes a lot of time, but I'll just show you the scores. Where is the gallery? Because I have to save the scores, and according to this quadrant benchmark, our device got a score of 2144, which is not bad for a single core 1 GHz processor. And let me give you a breakdown also. The total is 2144. Out of that, the CPU got 2506, memory is 1522, IO is 4971, 2D is 306, and 3D is 1413. So that's the quadrant. And now let me show you some of the games. Let's first run this Temple Run game, and this is the Temple Run game. Let me increase the volume a little bit. Also, the speakerphone quality is, I would say, pretty good. And it runs this game pretty quickly, but at times I've noticed a little bit of stutter or something like that. It's not always, but it does that. So this is for the Temple Run. Let's get out of the same. Let me kill it, and let me also run one more game that is known as Dead Trigger. Let's see how well this phone runs a game like Dead Trigger, which is a 3D game. And now it's loading this Dead Trigger game. It takes quite a while to load this game. It's a big game. And so this is the Dead Trigger game. Let me show you the same. And as you can see, it can play back this game, but at times there is a little bit of lag. No tests. And let me just move on. And as you can see, so this is the Dead Trigger. Yeah, it can play back this game, but at times there was a little bit of stutter at different levels. But overall, I would say I won't complain. And that's Dead Trigger. Let me get out. Now let me also show you the multi-touch points. And it's pretty good actually. It supports up to 5 multi-touch points. Let me show you the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see, it has 5 multi-touch points. So again, that's a good thing. In terms of messaging also, I didn't have any problems because the keyboard is pretty comfortable to type. And also it's pretty good. The keyboard is comfortable to type, so no issues with that. And also you can use it in this mode. It's pretty wide. So in terms of the keyboard also, no issues. Now let me show you the dialer. We get this Samsung standard dialer, and we can also make video calls. And let me show you the speaker quality. Let me just try the customer care. I'm going to use the phone. And I also tested it with Skype and it worked. Let me switch on the speaker. Now you can call our toll-free number 151 for all our new products. So as you can see, the speaker phone is also pretty loud, but I do not suggest it to keep it at highest volume because the volume starts to crack at that. So what is my opinion regarding this phone? This is a mid-range dual SIM phone from Samsung, and it does a lot of things right for the budget it sells. It sells in India for approximately about 16,500 or so, and it's an okay phone. I won't say it's an excellent phone because Samsung chose to use an old generation 1 GHz processor, but fortunately the RAM provided is pretty decent and it runs ICS without any issues. Also you can do video calling and Skype, so that's a plus, and the camera also is, I would say, pretty decent. But if you are a heavy gamer or something like that, I wouldn't recommend this phone for you because at times there is lag and that can be a bummer. So this is an ideal phone for someone who likes to have a branded dual SIM phone. It does the job, and the good thing is that both you can access both the SIM at the same time. So it's an active dual SIM phone, not a standby. And in my day-to-day usage, I didn't have any problems apart from the random lag that I had mentioned before. Regarding the battery life, I did all my testing with just a single SIM, and with that I would say I was getting acceptable battery life. I need to charge it at end of the day, but it was okay. But if you're going to use it heavily with two SIMs, then I would say that you would need to charge this phone twice a day. I hope you found this video review helpful. If you found it helpful, I'll appreciate if you click on the like button given below. That's it for now. This is Ranjit from tech2bus.com, and I hope to see you in my next video.